Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel, welcome to my channel if you're new. So today I am finally filming one of the most requested videos of all time, and it is the Jaclyn Hill review. And it's my Jaclyn Hill palette review video. So I've got the palette with me here and I am here to tell you my honest opinions and what I feel about this palette. I have got it on my eyes today. I'll do a couple of close-ups. I'll be swatching this for you, and yeah, this is going to be really, really exciting. So let's get on into this review video. So this is the palette itself. It is so hyped about, so many people want it. It was only originally sold on the Morphe website, which was really hard to access if you live in the UK like me. Then Beauty Bay decided to launch it and I was like, my prayers have been answered. It is £37, which for a Morphe palette is really expensive. The bigger palettes tend to lean towards £22–24. So for £37 you're a bit like, whoa. Now, my opinion is I don't think it should be £37, because if there are younger people that love Jaclyn Hill and really want to get their hands on it, it could be harder for them to pay £37 than it could be for someone else that's older. That's just my personal opinion. I'm not dissing Jaclyn at all. That's one disclaimer I want to put out there. All these opinions are my own. The reason people have asked me to do this video is so I give my opinion. And I love Jaclyn Hill. I've made that clear when I hauled this. But I am going to be honest with you guys, and if I think there's something could be improved, or if I think there's something that isn't right, I'm going to say it. But that's no disrespect to her because I love her so much. So yeah, let's just get on. So the packaging is pretty basic, but I think simplicity is amazing when you've got the colours you have inside. So it's just white with silver Jaclyn Hill, and then it's got on the back just Jaclyn Hill. And yeah, this packaging, if you travel a lot and you're like a freelance makeup artist or anything like that, it's going to get grubby very quickly. But for me, I don't have that problem. You open it up, it doesn't have a mirror, it just has a really nice message. It says, this palette is dedicated to all my loving subscribers. XO Jaclyn. Sorry, XO reminds me of XOXO, Gossip Girl. Sorry. Anyway, back to the review. These are the colours you get. You get 35 eyeshadows, you get a mixture of brighter colours, more warm tones, you get a mixture of mattes and shimmers. So if you're a matte and shimmers kind of person in one big palette, then this is definitely something that you should keep an eye out for. It did go out of stock really quickly. There is due a restock some point in October. I don't know if it's already happened or when it's happening, I'm not too sure. But yeah, this has everything you could probably ask for if you're into these sort of colours. Gonna be honest, I haven't branched out into these colours yet, but I know, I'm not saying I won't, I just haven't yet. I'm more gravitated towards the warmer tones. So I created this eye look with this palette, and I'm just gonna say these colours are phenomenal. When you swatch them, the pigmentation is insane. Now, for some of the colours, I feel that when you swatch them, they're not as good. Like, when you swatch them, they look stunning, but when you put them on your eye, you don't expect to have to do as much work, if that makes sense. That's only with some of the other colours, like this colour here and these colours here. They're more, you have to build them up, but because they're more neutral shades, you expect that. But when it comes to their more shimmery shades and their darker mattes, they are so pigmented. I use this shade here, which is amazing. I use it sort of like here, and it is incredible. It just adds so much more depth to your look. And as I said, you can create so many looks from this palette, and if you want to see me using this palette live or camera, then please let me know. I just thought it'd be easier just to tell you my thoughts and opinions. So yeah, I'm just going to go through what I love about this palette. So point one that I want to mention about this, the pigmentation is insane. It is not a lie. If you're thinking, can they really be that pigmented? Morphe formula as a whole is incredible. I've got the 350S palette, I think it is, and I had a couple of their other palettes, but I gave them away in the end because I didn't really use them. But nonetheless, their pigmentation is insane. They're so easy to blend, which is no different with this. They're just amazing colours, and the variety in here is insane. I think she's really made this palette really universal, because I think any skin tone, any preference could get some good use out of this, which is something I absolutely love about it. The consistency and texture is really nice. It's just so smooth. They're not clumpy, they're not chunky, they are just amazing. Even the shimmers, the glitter in it is not chunky at all. It just blends amazingly. I used the shimmer shade today and I cannot express how much I love it. It's just, I don't know, it's just they blend amazingly, which is a key thing for me. If they don't blend properly, then I'm gonna be a bit not so much, because I tend to blend a lot of colours together to create the look that I want, and that's what I've done, and these are such good blendable eyeshadows. So a few things that I don't like about it, or things that aren't fantastic, they're not a problem because they can easily be fixed, but just my opinions, some of the shades in here can be quite patchy. So I tried this shade here the other day and it just wasn't, I had to go on about 3 or 4 times to actually get it to build up, which I guess as I said, neutral shades you have to do that, so I'm not dissing it at all. And there was also, I think it was, where is it, this shade, insanely pigmented swatched. When I actually put it on my eye, for some reason it didn't really work. I don't know if that's because of the brush I was using. Hopefully it was, because if you have this palette and you think all these shades are so pigmented on the eyelids, please let me know how you use them, because I really want to make all these colours work for me if possible. So yeah, and I just feel the price, as I said, for this is just a bit insane. £37, and I just think, I don't know, I just feel it's unfair on people that maybe don't have that budget to spend. Like, I never have that budget to spend, but I thought, you know what, heck it, I'll get it for YouTube and for the fact that I love Jaclyn Hill, but not everybody's in the position when they can go, right, I've saved up my money and I can do that. So I think, although the qualities are insane and Jaclyn is amazing, I think the pricing in UK currency should have been around the £25 to £27 mark, because £37 in my opinion for this is just a bit excessive. And if I could go back and decide whether to buy it, I probably would buy it still, because I'm a massive eyeshadow hoarder and I love Jaclyn Hill, but I think the price definitely would put a lot of people off, and it put me off. I was thinking, £37, really? The maximum I was willing to spend was 30 on this. And then they said it was £37. I was like, oh, only £7 difference. But then I realised, comparing it to the other Morphe eyeshadow palettes, which can be just as pigmented, which can have very similar shades to this, then yeah, I definitely think if you're wanting this but you think the price is too high, I completely get where you're coming from. I feel a bit crazy spending that much on a palette, but these things happen. But definitely check out on Beauty Bay the other Morphe palettes that are hardly ever out of stock. That you can easily get your hands on, because yes, they're £22, but you get just the same amount of shadows. They're still incredible. But yeah, if you've still got your heart set on getting this, I'm not telling you not to buy it, because it is an incredible palette and it is a good investment, but there are things about it that makes me think, is it worth £37? I just don't know. I would rate this palette due to my main thoughts of how pigmented they are, how easy they are to blend, and how these colours are so me. That's the main reason I bought it, except for this little corner of bright purples and blues. This palette is really me. It's got pink shimmers, it's got burgundy mattes, and all the sort of warm tones that I crave in my makeup life. That is why it caught my eye, and for that reason I would rate it 4 out of 5 stars for me, because so for that reason, I would personally rate it an 8.5 out of 10, because I do really like it and I know I'm going to get so much use out of it, especially for the remainder of autumn and Christmas time, and even not then, you can create such natural looks with this, and that's also a point I want to make. You can make such natural looks to such heavy glam looks, which I think is incredible. And if you just want one palette for your makeup collection, probably a good one to go for, because you've got so many and they're going to last you a lifetime. It's just ridiculous that I've got quite a lot of these in my collection, but you know, we're not here to judge. But yeah, I'd rate it an 8.5, because there are things that aren't as good as I would expect them. I bought the Naked Heat by Urban Decay, which you might think, what has this got to do with it? Just carry on listening. And when I used that, I was wowed. I was like, what the hell? I was so impressed. and I was just like taken aback. I was like, when I used this, I was like, oh my god, it's stunning. But that's it, if that makes sense. I wasn't as wowed. I was expecting to be absolutely blown away, especially from the price. I know the Urban Decay palette is more expensive, but I wasn't expecting to, because although there's hype around it, I was expecting this to wow me more, if that makes sense. And it still wowed me, and I'm really happy I bought it, but it didn't wow me as much. So if you're asking me which palette would I recommend more, even though the Urban Decay Naked Heat is more expensive and you don't get as many eyeshadows, I don't know which one I recommend more, because obviously everybody's different, but I was wowed by the Urban Decay Naked Heat. I'm going to get so much use out of that, just as much as this one, possibly even more. Once again, it's got burgundy shades and stuff like that, and I just absolutely love it. I was just like, when I created the eye looks I did. So that's what I'm trying to say, like, I was wowed by that palette. I wasn't taken aback by this one. I was impressed by the colours and how nice they look, but there are so many palettes that have this sort of colour range in them, if you know what I mean. But nonetheless, I think it is an amazing palette. I am so happy for Jaclyn that she managed to do this collaboration with Morphe, because I know it was a long time coming, and once again, I'm not dissing her in the blooming slightest. She's one of my favourite YouTubers of all time, and I am so thankful and lucky I own this. I'm just being honest, and I think if you want it but then the price takes you back, and are there any alternatives? So many brands like Makeup Revolution do their big eyeshadow palettes. There are even bigger ones that are only £15, are amazing, and they're really good pigmentation, and they're actually dupes for the Morphe 35 colour eyeshadow palette. So honestly, there are so many brands that do good dupes of this sort of product. However, it is a collector's edition, and if you want to collect, and if you're a hoarder of makeup like me, then I definitely recommend purchasing it. But yeah, I do really love it. I just wasn't taken aback by it, if that makes sense. But yeah, if you've enjoyed this rambly video, well, there we go, you've made it to the end. So here's a close-up of the eye look I created. I'm really happy with it. I just think the shades are amazing. But as I said, I have been taken aback by other things. I'm going to show you the shades I used to create this look. So I started with this shade in my crease. I then used this to neutralise it out and give it more of a yellow undertone. I then went in with this in my crease as well, just to give it more of a reddy undertone. Then I went in with this coppery shimmer with a blender brush, because it honestly is incredible. This shade is super pigmented, one of my favourite shades in the palette. And then I went in with this in my outer V, just to deepen it up and give it more of a burgundy tone. And then I used this once again in my outer V to give it more of a depth and to hollow it out a bit. So yeah, those are the shades I used to create this. And if you're wondering what mascara I'm using, because it's incredible, it's the Rimmel Shake Up mascara, I think that's what it's called. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this really long rambly video, and don't forget to smash a big thumbs up if you did. Subscribe if you haven't already, because that would mean the world to me, and I will see you in my next video. If you've got the Morphe Jaclyn Hill palette, let me know in the comments on your feedback on it and how much you like it, or if you've got any recommendations of products to use with it to make it even better, or if you've just got any tips and tricks how to use it to make it even better than it already is, then please let me know. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!